What is going on, guys? MMA Island team. We got the fight picks and we've got the main event of the evening. We'll save it for Bruce Buffer. Pass it on to Deiveson Figueiredo, man. Second straight pay-per-view headliner fight. And then Brandon Moreno, a dude who was in UFC 255, and he was on that as well. And it wasn't the main card. I don't know why it wasn't, but it wasn't. And he fought Brandon Royval in the Brandon Bowl, and he went out there and won it. And Zach and I picked Brandon Moreno to win it. And he went up there and it was weird, man. He separated his shoulder. Brandon Royval separated his shoulder and then kind of just was like in excruciating pain. And with all the pain, just left himself opening for ground and pound. And that's how Brandon Moreno got it done. But it was an interesting fight, man. Not going to get into my pick because we got Zach to start us off, and I will pass it on to him.
So I think this is the first time in forever that I get the first pick on the main event. It's very rare. It's very rare, and I'm going to use this. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event of UFC 255. Oh, it should have been, at least. And we saw why it should have been. We saw why it should have been.
Alex Perez, just fight the guillotine, man. When you're in a guillotine, don't separate your arms. Fight it with your hands, man.
I was so happy. Michael probably was not.
We need a recap. We need a recap video, man.
We'll start doing recaps after this card. We'll do a recap for 256. But, okay, Deiveson Figueiredo, man, oh man, fighter of the year if he pulls this one off, and he will pull this one off because it has been a while since we've seen a flyweight as impressive as Deiveson Figueiredo. And, you know, I kind of went in on how much I like him in the 255, but I'm going to go into it again because we know what he does. We know how good he is because the thing that makes Deiveson Figueiredo most dangerous is not his power, is not his ground game, it's his durability. Deiveson Figueiredo is completely unafraid of anyone in the cage and what they can do to him. We see he will go forward and he will eat punches from people like it's nothing. His striking defense might be a little bit low, but that's because he is the mentality of take one to give five. Every time he takes a punch, he takes that punch so he can get that opening on the opponents because they're throwing a shot at him. No one has been able to hurt him. I mean, besides Formiga, but that was before the red stripe. Pre-red stripe Figueiredo does not count. And we've seen red stripe Figueiredo. Oh man, has he been insane. He's won every single one of his fights since he got the red stripe. He is 5-0 with it. So I'm not saying it's the source of his power, but I completely am at the same time. But we know that he's incredibly powerful. He's insanely dangerous on the ground, as we saw. If he gets on his back, we saw him go for the leg against Alex Perez. That was kind of cool. And then when Perez got him down, he got in that tight guillotine squeeze way too hard. Perez had nothing at that point. It was over 2 minutes, over and done. So Moreno is not going to challenge him on the feet because Moreno does not really have a chance on the feet. Yes, his hand speed is really fast, but his power is going to be completely nullified because Figueiredo is going to eat all the shots that he can, put one shot down and put Moreno down on his ass. And I love Brandon Moreno. So this is really tough for me. I have a lot of matchups of people I love. I love Kevin Holland as well. He just happens to be fighting my favorite fighter. I love Brandon Moreno. He just happens to be fighting one of my other favorite fighters in Deiveson Figueiredo.
Love JDS?
I do love JDS actually. Because I actually do, because he's one of the nicest people in the sport of MMA. True. I rooted for him hard against Derek Lewis, but then he's gone, and I rooted for him against Ngannou, but I'm a big Curtis Blades fan. There's not many of us left after the Volkov fight.
Blades wrestling, man. Wrestling, there is.
Anyways, I'm getting off topic. I think that the powerful striking, and if this fight goes to the ground, which is what Moreno wants it to do, I think that Figueiredo is honestly more dangerous on the ground than Brandon Moreno is, and he's going to get caught in a sub. Figueiredo is calling a sub. Figueiredo usually calls his own fights pretty well. He called second round submission for Perez. He got it in the first. He's called first round knockout for Benavidez too, and I think he said he's going to knock out Benavidez in the first time. Figueiredo's prediction for this fight, third round submission. My prediction for this fight, first round submission. I think this fight's not going to leave the first. Deiveson Figueiredo is going to notch his second defense, and he's going to become the fighter of the year.
Well, yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard picking Deiveson Figueiredo fights, at least in my eyes, just because every time I pick against him,
it's not hard. Just pick Figueiredo. It's not hard. Just pick Figueiredo.
Who goes out there and does what Deiveson Figueiredo does? Can I pick against him again against Brandon Moreno, a dude who has just been looking very good in his past few fights? Let's talk about the streak that Brandon Moreno is on before I get to my pick. But man, Brandon Moreno, Kai Kara France, unanimous decision win. Jussier Formiga, just unanimous decision win. Hey, Perez finished Formiga. And you got Moreno beating him unanimously. And then you got Figueiredo losing to him.
And then you got Perez getting put to sleep.
But I mean, like, he didn't even fight it. He separated his arms. And I'm like, man, why aren't you?
It's the tight squeeze, man. Figueiredo's so strong.
But move your legs, like oh. Anyways, can I pick Figueiredo to win this one? I think I'm going to go on the Figueiredo train for this one. I'm tired of him winning. I'm tired of him winning when I pick against him, even though I've only picked against him in the Perez fight. And I think I picked him against him in the Benavidez fight, but that is pre-UFC calculator me. And I don't think that me really picked very many fights right, because I like to pick with my heart, and I like to pick. I'm a shout out Slick Diaz, because I love this dude's style of fight picks. He likes to make it interesting, and he likes to go into his crystal ball and sort of form a somehow let something crazy happen. Like, he'll pick something like a crazy submission and bam, it'll happen. This dude's a beast. But hey, he's Slick Diaz. I'm just Michael. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna pick Figueiredo to win this fight, man. A lot of reasons. So first, we'll start it off and talk about how pretty much Figueiredo's strike to knockdown ratio is similar to only one fighter in the UFC. And Ken Zach named that fighter that it's similar.
Francis Ngannou.
There we go, Francis Ngannou. And everybody knows how crazy striking Francis Ngannou.
8 knockdowns in Figueiredo's first 10 fights.
And that also relates to another fighter in Conor McGregor in knockdowns in the first 10 fights of his career. So, man,
4 of those were against Benavidez. Half of his knockdowns are against Benavidez.
Exactly, yeah. And you're looking at Figueiredo, a dude who just has such great power, but also at the same time is so good on the ground. He's so well-rounded. And then you're looking at Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno is very well-rounded as well. But I just think that he doesn't have the power that it would take to beat Figueiredo. And I just don't think that he can go out there and submit Figueiredo. I think this fight is kind of tailored to go to the decision, unless Figueiredo can.
Really?
Well, we haven't seen Moreno get finished. That's the only reason I say that. And we've seen Moreno fight some pretty good guys on the ground. Askarov, Formiga.
He's never fought anyone as powerful, though.
I won't hold Figueiredo in that high regard. I don't know. I just think that he's on his second title defense for now. I guess you could say his third, because the first fight he won against Benavidez, and just because he missed weight. But
he's bringing the belt home again to Ferdinand, who is his pet water buffalo. That's really cool. He has a pet water buffalo named Ferdinand, people. Ferdinand Figueiredo.
Well, I'm going with Figueiredo on this one. I want to be on the Figueiredo train. One thing I've started to do as my fight pick career has progressed is that when I pick against guys or girls that are just so good and so dominant, it's like I want to be a part of their team. I'm an Indianapolis Colts fan. We haven't been that amazing, and it's like, dang, if only I could pick who I could cheer for. And I will never do that because I'm loyal. But when it comes to
MMA,
when it comes to MMA, you can do that. You can do that. So I'm a Deiveson Figueiredo fan this week, baby. Let's go.
Welcome. I've been here for a while.
Super excited to be a part of the team, man. I'm excited. I feel like I'm in a press conference where I just got signed. But hey, there you go. So Figueiredo, man, super excited to see. I don't know where you go with the flyweight division after this fight. If Figueiredo can win this one, just because
Askarov.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Askarov set to face Benavidez, so
he's going to win that fight.
That one.
And then you have I'm sad that Manel Kepa cannot be fighting Alessandro Pantoja on the 19th. Hopefully they get Kepa a replacement. I need that guy in the UFC. I need to watch him fight. Check out my interview with Manel Kepa. It's good.
For sure. But yeah, man, the flyweight division, it's just with Figueiredo at the top, you can't get rid of it. This dude has got some star power, which is weird to say with him barely being able to speak English. His English has gotten a lot better, I've noticed, though, for sure. But super excited for this one regardless, man.
Hey, Cody, motherfucker. I'm going to take your head off. I love Figueiredo.
I would say I wouldn't be too shocked if Moreno can win this one, but that's just the Figueiredo fader in me. But you never know. But Moreno is very, very good. So I wouldn't be shocked if he went out there and he won it. But I'm leaning towards Figueiredo for sure. But yeah, super excited for this one. Make sure you guys are letting us know who you guys got in the main event of the evening. Leave it to Bruce Buffer. Comment and let us know, man. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you guys are checking out the other Fight Pick videos.